Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
By the power of Grayskull!
Okay, I guess Adam's having some difficulties.
I am dumping unlimited
all right.
power into you.
Welcome to Mellow Mondays.
No, we're here. We're here. The video is up. No, you just interrupted everything. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Your thing was fucking going all crazy.
It wasn't not going all crazy. It was running.
Yeah.
No, it was fine.
I had a black screen with the thing.
It was running. What are you talking about? Chat.
Not on my side.
Chat. Listen,
One of us has to be executed for.
No, listen. We're 10 minutes late. Something retarded came up. I had to deal with, which I would have started right. No. All right. You know what? Fine. All right. I'm gonna play it again and see what happens. All right, because it's the intro. God damn it. All right. Should I do it? Is there anybody there? Anybody there to double check this? I see people. Listen.
They probably all left waiting for you.
They're here. I see people here, sort of. I think. Listen. We normally it's gonna be like this for the next 6 weeks, back to back. We're not going to go right up against it. We went long tonight because we had to do 2 episodes, not 1. But we're here, and I want to play the intro, but I mean, it's part of the routine. I hate to break it. No, fuck it. Forget it.
We're here, and this started off queer.
Hey, I do the best I can. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mellow Mondays, where it's a show. It's a show. I guess Sam will be here eventually. I hope Sam got some sleep. He didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday. You see, now this threw me off. Now I already don't have anything much for tonight. It's going to be another one of those. I have maybe sort of a thing or two, and we'll see where that goes. But it's one of those things. Hi, Devil. How are you? You survived Vegas?
I guess I'm sick again.
You got some
thing
crud.
Happened last year.
You got some crud.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that bad. Just my joints hurt and I sneeze constantly. So if my mic goes off in the camera, it's because I'm sneezing like crazy. So
that's fine. That sucks. We said. You must have caught it at the beginning of the trip if it's manifesting now, because that was like me when I went off to Florida. Whatever I caught must have happened before I went, and the symptoms appeared once I was already in Florida, which made it a pain in the ass. But it's just it sucks.
I literally because since it happened last year, I was all, I'm gonna go to one of the freaking gas stations and get a Z-Pack and immune boost before I go. And I remember those being at every freaking gas station. You had those little packs of the vitamins and shit to boost your immune system. I couldn't find it for nothing. Like I went into 3 separate ones and they all were like, "What are those?" I'm like, "What?" So I didn't get to take one before I left, which really pissed me off. So, and now it really fucking sucks.
I don't think I've ever taken a Z-Pack in my life.
Oh man,
I wouldn't even know what to do for that.
Yeah, they used to have them up at the registers. You'd see a fish oil capsule in there, and there's all these different little things. They're all supposed to help your immune system if you're about to travel. And you just don't see them anymore. But yeah, they used to have them everywhere.
All right, hang on. I'm just, I got nothing. I didn't save anything appropriate. Well, not really.
I might have
this. I have this. This one's actually been sitting around for a while. I'll bring this one up in a bit. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it sucks. I hate me getting sick for my Florida trip. That sucked because I hadn't been sick for a while, and it sucks when you're sick and you're not home, because you don't have any of your tools. I mean, I had for the first few days of it, I had like none of the usual medications that I keep around for dealing with symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So when my congestion finally kicked in, I had nothing. I had nothing. And Jed eventually gave me something on like the wedding day, but before that, I had like nothing. And somehow, some way, I did manage to survive with uncomfortably, but I did. But it I always wonder what's going to happen if I get sick and have myself. Well, I found out. Of course, when I had the COVID, the symptoms were like all out of whack. They all came at in an unusual order. So
Mhm.
it was terrible, and I hated it. And I was coughing shit up. It was disgusting, and I didn't sleep all that well. But I can understand. At least you're home. At least you're sick. You know,
Yeah.
and
At least I made it there.
yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. I guess only a couple people stayed when we rerouted everybody from the streams, but thank you anyway for joining us. I'm sure more people usually do show up later on. It's been a strange day. I did something really retarded today. I won't really go into it, but let's just say I was very careless, and money got spent unintentionally that I had to correct. And at the moment, it's a very dangerous financial situation. It'll be fixed by tomorrow, but I was a retard last week and unintentionally did something that could have been massively disastrous for me.
Well, you can usually find the naked pics of the chicks. You don't actually have to subscribe to their OnlyFans, dude.
I'm not that much of a simp. I don't need that. Anyway, so thanks everybody being here. Let's see. Legatus is asking us. I don't know anything. New Oscars rules.
Are there?
I mean, I guess what's the point?
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care at all. I don't care about the Oscars at all. Nobody cares. It's worthless. If anything, this last round of Oscars kind of proved that if there hadn't been a controversy with that dude pretending to be a chick, that agenda-driven piece of shit movie would have won everything. So they had to scramble in the last minute to fix the voting so that they could actually give it to other people. Otherwise, that thing would have run the table.
Yeah.
About that thing. So,
how much more do you think they have to lose audience-wise before they finally just admit that no one cares about their stupid back pats? I mean, God, no one watches that shit. Their viewership is nothing.
Yeah, I honestly don't think they care. I don't think they care. I mean, they don't care about the money they lose. They don't care about the negative attention they get because they live in a bubble over there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I'm not saying they would stop doing their award show because they're never going to stop sitting there patting themselves on the back.
No.
I'm just saying, when are they going to get to the point where they're like, we really don't need to freaking, go through the hullabaloo of putting it out there and stuff. We can just stream it like on some channel, and if people want to see it, right? Because it costs them a fortune to put the damn thing on, and I can't believe any real thing is paying anymore for commercial time on that show, man. I wouldn't be. I'd be like, I'm not going to get no return on this. So yeah, it just seems kind of like at some point they're just going to be like, yeah, we'll stream it out in case there's one or two people want to watch it, but otherwise we'll just sit here all night flogging ourselves,
honestly,
to our amazingness.
People have always said, just announce the results. We don't need a show. Just tell us the results.
Exactly.
It's not like we're watching for super commercials or anything like with the Super Bowl, or we're not watching for the comedy because the people who are hosting it aren't funny anymore. Yeah. We're not hosting it to see what anybody's wearing because guess what? Everybody looks and wears shit. People look like shit, and their outfits, their designs look like shit. And we're not, and the movies aren't good. The movies aren't good.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So I don't think they're going to learn. I don't. Because there's no, let me ask this. What's their incentive to learn?
It depends. I mean, eventually, like I said, we already know that a lot of these big studios are fucking losing so much money that we're seeing a lot of the smaller studios, just like in video games, how they're doing. Smaller studios are starting to, get like traction because everybody rather go see a movie from a small studio that's really well done and stuff
Mhm.
and put a ton of money into that than go to these big budget movies. So you're seeing like the big budget movies, 1 out of every 10 really hit, like Minecraft, and every other one just flop.
See, but Minecraft's not a good example because I've been talking about this a couple times, and I've had oh, there's Samuel. Wait a minute, shit, our net's delayed. There we go. Hi. Hi. But Minecraft is not a good example because of it's successful because of memes. It's not successful because it's a good movie.
I do think there is a meme culture to it, but with the numbers they're pulling in, it has to also be people wanting to go see the movie, not just people wanting to throw popcorn and act like dumbasses.
Initially, it's starting to taper off, but the majority of it, where it made its money, the initial rush was because of the meme culture and the barbarianism involved with what they did. It's not even good meme culture; it's TikTok barbarianism.
Well, I mean, but if you look at those theaters, there's a lot of people clapping, but there's only like 7 or 8 people causing the mischief, right? The setting off the fireworks, bringing chickens. So I do think a majority of his people actually wanting to see the movie because maybe they think it's going to be good. I don't know, but it's still a success, whether it's meme culture or not.
I'm not
it's still
denying that
1 out of 10 of major pictures that actually brings in
but
enough
it's not
money to
because
make a
it's
profit.
good. It's been resound. No one has actually ever said the movie's good. It's because of the memes and the jokes and if you like a shit movie, go ahead and like a shit movie. But no one has actually said it's good. Everybody who's seen it says this movie is stupid. So
I could have said that before I even,
well, of course. Well,
before
we
I saw
did.
it.
The problem is,
and I did see it.
we did say it, and we thought it was going to have a different result, but it turned out to be a success, which I've already elaborated how I didn't read the room correctly on how it would work, but
That actually really surprised me because I said, well, the normies probably won't go see it because they don't care about Minecraft. The Minecraft fans, I didn't think would see it because it doesn't, like, how in the hell does Jack Black represent the main character, wherever the hell that little guy
it
is?
didn't matter in the end.
Yeah. It just looked like they were, I don't know. It didn't feel like what I would think a Minecraft thing would feel like. And then lastly, I didn't think any of the, nerds like us would go see it because we don't go see shit. So
Well, here's how I think I got it wrong. We were on the thinking that who the Minecraft people aren't into it. I think we didn't take into account those who had aged up 10 years and still liked it that were going to go see it. And that's who showed up. And then in some cases early on, people did bring their families, and it's so stupid, it appeals to kids. So the kids probably had a good time. and then it turned into a meme thing. So the combination of that got us to a massive domestic all and a healthy international, which has it over 700 million at this point. And it will likely I think it gets over $1 billion, but I don't think it does much after that. I don't think we're looking at 1.2 or 1.3 billion or anything crazy. I think it is already running out of steam, but it has enough steam to get to $1 billion. So, anyway.
Well, I told you yesterday what I think about like why it did so well. Look, lots of kids play Minecraft. That's just a fact. Like Minecraft is mostly played by kids under 12 and people who are a little too friendly with kids.
But that's what I'm saying is, one, after the meme stuff started happening, the popcorn and the chickens and all that shit, I wouldn't take my kid to it if I had one. I wouldn't fucking put him in that fireworks going off in the
and
fucking
I said as
theater.
much. Any good parents not taking their kids to that kind of insanity.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. I'd be like, yeah, you'll just wait and we'll rent it when it comes out on stream. Sorry, fuck, I'm not going to get you burnt with a firework because there's a bunch of freaking homos in the fucking audience. But I do agree with you that there is a fan base for Minecraft. Even now, with how many years it's been out, it's still a popular game. But like I said, I also thought that the people who were diehard fans would be like, this just doesn't feel like Minecraft. Like I said, nothing in it made me think Minecraft except for the, the characters and stuff. But Jack Black, like I said, doesn't feel like the main character. He looks like a fat hobo. You have Jason Momoa's character look like some gay freaking wrestler. Who knows what the hell that's supposed to represent in the game? It just felt like they took the game basics and then threw a bunch of shit in there that made no sense to it. And I was like, I thought the fans would be like, how the hell is this supposed to be our game? It's like if they did a G.I. Joe game, but all the G.I. Joes are like fucking hair models, right? And fucking had normal jobs. You'd be like, how the hell does that represent G.I. Joe? They're supposed to be like, specialties of different things. Not it didn't feel like it. And so I thought they would be rejected by the fans of Minecraft. That's what I thought.
Yeah, well, I agreed with you, and I agreed on that, but clearly we didn't get that. And Samuel was right. That's why I said there's that fan base who grew up with it, playing it, and got old enough to want to go see it. And then now we had gotten like on the ground response from who have kids who were saying, my kids are not interested in it. They like Minecraft, but they're not interested. Well, clearly that was not a good sample size of kids who would want to go see this. Clearly,
yeah. I mean, my kids like Minecraft. They've both been playing for ages, and one of them's an adult now. And I guarantee she went.
Well, see, that's the thing I didn't understand. I didn't think the adult Minecraft player who would play this kid would be. I thought they would be turned off by this, by what they saw. But clearly, I was wrong, and I've said that on many occasions at this point.
Well, it's almost the same phenomenon we had with the Barbie movie. We all thought that wasn't going to do as good because I guess the nostalgic thing, won out.
That we didn't realize how enthused the actual target audience was. That was a complete misread for the majority of us. There were a few people out there who did get it, but a lot of us didn't understand that them chicks, they were going to go see that and drag their men to see it too. And then they were going to go back and see it in groups.
To be fair, the Barbie fandom has never been what you would call a vocal one.
Yeah.
We had no idea how many of them there were. Yeah. So nobody knew. And also to quote Dre, that was one of the most impressive marketing campaigns you had ever seen for that movie. They did their marketing. They did a really good job with that. They spent their money pretty well there. Yeah, it was top tier. It was one of the greatest pushes ever to get people interested and enthused to go see a movie, and it worked. And it was a phenomenon. But Minecraft is a different phenomenon because the marketing was shit for it. It was garbage. But here we are. It's over 700 million. I don't know if it'll crack 1 billion this week because I think the international is going to taper off a bunch. But by the end of the month, it hits 1 billion. I think at this point, I think it has enough legs to get there. I think it gets close, but I think it tapers off just before.
See, I said my initial bet was 7 to 850, and it's going to clearly get over 850 at this point. And then it gets to 1 billion, it'll limp into 1 billion. It's not going to. I mean,
it might do that. Yeah. I mean, if it's the first $1 billion movie in a while, they might extend the stay in theaters a little bit and see if they can't just get over that hump. Because I'm thinking that it tapers off at the end of the month. I'm thinking it probably tapers off around 980.
Oh, it does. This thing has a shelf life because everybody's done the meme thing. They've done it. And they did it a little more apparently to get this last week, but it is slowing down. So on its second week domestically, it made $120 million domestically on its second week. Last week, it only made about $49.50. So it is tapering off. But
I mean, even if it doesn't cross over that, man, I mean, it's still it more than made fucking money.
Oh, with its budget of budget of 150, it was in profit around 400, 450. So it's in profit. Yeah. It's been in profit. And great. It's getting a sequel. People are going to keep playing
the,
Minecraft. Yeah, so.
they're probably already greenlit what? At
Oh, they
least
did. They
2
greenlit.
sequels. Yeah.
Oh, they already greenlit Circle. It's happening. It's happening. And fine, I don't care. The only thing I care about is that I don't find meme culture terrible. I find this Minecraft meme culture barbaric, and I think it's bad. I don't like it. It's not. It's different from people just cheering in a movie. When you go to vandalism and seeking in live animals and setting off firecrackers, you've crossed a line. It's not. I don't think that's cool. I think that's retarded and stupid.
Yeah.
So
you're endangering people's lives. One fucking firecracker can set a whole fucking place on fire if it hits the right thing, and you can't control where the hell they fucking fly off to. So yeah, it's fucking stupid.
What if it hits somebody in the face or something? It's
What if some dumbass fucking brings in liquor, because people sneak liquor into fucking theaters all the time, and a spark hits they drop their cups, hits that whole fucking row of chairs up in flames.
Well, hey, fucking stupid. Do that, man. Like historically, theaters are fire traps. Then they always have been. It's like the curtains that they hang for sound dampening and all that shit. All of that's very fucking flammable.
Now they've tempered that. They spray it with shit that makes it not flammable and stuff. But you're right. Traditionally, they were. There's a lot of theaters that burned down because one thing
killed
happened.
Everybody in it.
Yeah.
But you got to get your TikTok clip.
Yeah.
It's
like,
I think famously there was one in Chicago, like in the 1910s or whatever, that burned down, killed everybody inside, and is supposedly one of the most haunted locations in Illinois.
Yeah. They used to because it used to be you lit up with candles, and like you said, they had the draperies and the fucking curtains and all that stuff, and so and also back then, before they had all the rules and stuff, there was one door in, one door out type situation. So when you have a whole room full of people panicking because they see a small fire, they jam the door up, and next thing you know, they're goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enjoy the movie if you like it. I don't care. If not for the barbarianism, I would still sort of be scratching my head as, man, I don't get it completely, but great, fine. From what I hear, the movie is not woke at all. It's not ideologically offensive. It's just retarded and dumb.
That's probably another selling point in its favor, is because it's not trying to push a message. It's just dumb fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with dumb fun, but just acknowledge it's dumb. I guess that part of the story has been lost because of the memes and the TikTok crap. But,
I've never been a big fan of Jack Black, and this stinks of Jack Black humor, so I'm good.
I lost interest in him a long, long time ago. I can't say exactly when, but there was a certain point where, wow, you know what? I don't really enjoy him anymore. And
I think that comes with time, though. It's like I had the same problem with Adam Sandler. I just don't find Adam Sandler funny anymore, but I did once.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with Jack Black. I did once. I was all about that sense of humor at one point in my life. I'm not there anymore, so it just doesn't resonate with me anymore. And neither one of those guys has matured in any way when it comes to their comedies. So I mean, they're still doing the same shit they were doing fucking 25 years ago.
Well, look, they're making Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on.
They're just gonna abuse the shit out of all these, successful things, and now they're not even going after franchises. They're literally going after one-off successful movies, and even though it's years later and the fan base has moved on, let's try that again because we have no good, clear ideas here.
Yeah, but you know what? If something's just dumb, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's when it gets stupid, like when we just spent an hour and a half talking about Doctor Who on Who Cares Reviews, and that thing is agenda driven. It's insulting to the fans, insulting to the lore. That's what gets me annoyed. I don't care that Minecraft is successful. What I care about is that it's sort of successful for the wrong reasons, at least in some sense. And that bugs me. But otherwise, if it's a dumb, fun movie, go ahead and enjoy it. No one's making me watch it, and there's no reason for me to watch it. So,
I mean, Dude, like, I can't fault him for that. I went to see Cocaine Bear in the theaters. I was one of the first in line for, like, the first showing, and I fucking loved it, by the way.
You and many others. I mean, listen, that we actually thought at the time that thing was going to be a sleeper massive hit, but it wasn't.
No,
We thought
no,
it was.
I think time's gonna bear out on that. I think it's gonna be a cult classic in time, but it ain't there yet.
Well, see, I think everybody reacted so positively to it. I was in the camp that thought, man, a lot of people are going to turn out for this insanely dumb movie, and it's going to do really, really well. But it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
I
deep. Well, yeah, but that was deep in the middle of so many bad movies. We wanted something that was dumb and fun to do better than all the garbage.
Dude, that was the first movie I went to see in theaters after the whole COVID lockdown shit. When they first started opening up theaters again, that was the first one I went back. No, I tell a lie. That's not the first one. That was the second one. The first one was Monster Hunter.
Oh, Monster Hunter, I watched on streaming. I didn't watch that in the theater. I watched it on streaming. The first movie I saw when I went back after COVID was Mario, and that was for the channel more than anything.
First one I saw was Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I'm thinking about it, and I think I've only actually been to 3 movies since the lockdowns ended, and that was the first. The other one was Godzilla -1. That's it. That's all I've gone to see.
That's the thing. Before COVID, I would go to theaters all the time.
I wasn't going much before COVID.
Really gone back.
I wasn't going much for COVID because I've been disillusioned. I've said this. I've been disillusioned as for the movie going experience for a long time because I think it's not worth the money that they ask of you. I mean, if you're going with friends, yes. If you're going with your girlfriend or your wife or your significant other, that's something. But going by yourself, it used to still be fun. Now it's not. I mean, I've ranted and raved. I fucking hate assigned seating. I hate that there's 45 minutes of commercials before I even start the movie. I haven't enjoyed a single trailer ever in the past several years when I do go, and I'm generally disappointed by most movies. So, I mean, used to be an MC movie got my butt in a seat. But yeah, not the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't. I think that was the last one that I went of that franchise I went to see in theaters. But I had a thing with my oldest kid, right? You know, when she was 10, we started going to see these movies together. It was back in 2012, so it was still late phase 1, right? And so we were, and we went to every Marvel movie as it came out on opening weekend. And it wasn't so much about the Marvel movies themselves, though. I mean, it was about spending a couple hours with my kid, you know. But it was something that we did together. And then after Endgame, we just kind of stopped going, for totally other reasons. But as it turns out, that wasn't a bad thing.
But I mean, outside of doing it for a family reason or something like that, I don't want to spend $15 to $20 on a ticket. I mean, I'm so old, and Sam can remember when it was matinee, $5. I remember that, and popcorn and drinks wouldn't cost you $30.
Yeah. We still every time I could get away with it, I'd take her to a matinee rather than going to like the evening showings just because it was cheaper.
When I was a kid in middle school, I went to school where we had Friday half days. We were always out by noon. And when I was a kid, if I wasn't doing something with a friend, my mom would pick me up. We'd go get McDonald's. We'd sneak the McDonald's into the theater and we'd go see a movie. Usually most Fridays, mostly during the fall, spring, and early summer before you get out. Not so much during the winter because it's freaking cold. We were in Jersey, so it was really cold. But it was a thing. So go enjoy movies. So I saw tons of movies as a kid, matinees, and it was a great experience. It was fun, and now it's not fun.
We used to. When I lived in Colorado years ago, we used to have this theater, and I think it's still there, but the prices have gone up, obviously. It was first it was the $2 theater, then it was the $3 theater. All you had to do was wait an extra 6 weeks for new releases, and they'd show up there, and you could get a ticket for $3.
Mm.
You know, and it was just after it had its main run, then they, contract to show it and whatnot, and you could get in a whole lot cheaper. And so we just wait. It's same principle as waiting for a game to drop in price before you buy it, kind of thing. You're getting the same experience. You just do it a little bit later and for less money.
Yeah, and I'm and unless it's something that I have to stream, I'm totally on board for that kind of situation. Yeah, I can wait. I can wait. I mean, there are some games I was looking at the end of last year. They've already dropped like $10, $15. And I'm still not going to buy them right now because I don't have the money. Especially don't have the money because I don't know if you heard this, Sam. I effed up with something. I did it last week, not intending to do it. But at the moment, I have like minus $3,000 in my checking account.
Holy shit, dude!
I fixed it. It'll be fixed tomorrow. I tried to do a little thing, and what I did was not what happened. I don't know how it happened. Paying off a full balance of something. So it's so I've been kind of miserable all day because it was what I woke up to this morning. And I fixed it. Everything should be sorted by tomorrow. It's going to take a full banking business day to fix everything. But so I'm like this conversation has me hypersensitive to like spending money on anything because
fair enough. I mean, I figured that was just your heritage, but sure.
No, I fucked up. I nearly devastating.
Yeah, he still had 40 payments left on his real sex doll, and he packed and paid it all.
Listen, those things don't work as well as you think they do, okay?
I wouldn't know. They're out of my price range, man.
Yeah.
When you think they could, you practice with the banana first, all right? And then so I'm not going to, I wanted my money back, okay? Anyway, so hello, everybody. People are rolling in now. I apologize for the late start because... Who Cares Reviews went a little longer than it normally will for the next 6 weeks because we had to cover 2 episodes instead of 1, and then it started even later because I had to deal with retarded. It didn't have to happen, but it did, so I had to deal with that. And then, according to Devil, there was technical difficulties when I was running the clip video, but I saw it. He said it wasn't there, so. We'll have to check the replay. You know what? I am going to check the replay right now. Let's see if it's showing.
Yeah, it started and then it clipped out and just went to us on the screen, but you were black and with the circle. And I was like, okay.
Well, that's because I killed it in the middle. And it was working. Yeah, it was working. It was working. I'm looking back here. It was working. Well, it's Devil's fault. Everybody can blame Devil.
I made you do it.
Yeah, you did make me do it, you son of a bitch. Anyway,
hey, I got a bone to pick with you guys.
Oh, okay. What?
I saw your response to my video last week, you dickheads. That was all woman. Fuck you. There was no dick under those fucking.
Yeah, F and Steve said that was a woman too. I X'd out, dude. X'd out.
I don't know.
We got enough of a look. There was no tuck. I'm sorry. That was all woman. She was a dancer. You could see she was.
She was a very good dancer.
The clips we showed you weren't as good. There was other times where she was looking a little sexier than the clips we saw. But that's why she had abs. She worked out. But no, that was a woman. Especially Dermy can verify that because he literally went and gave her $40 and was like right underneath her essentially. So he would have saw some chub if there was something down there.
I've heard many stories. Well, here's the thing. When you guys went live for Ballbusters, I was doing gaming stream, and I was being told in chat that you guys were talking about some Dermy and a prostitute. I'm like, well, I'll hear about it later. But then I went back on Saturday morning to watch it because I'm like, well, I'm going to watch it. It's only an hour. And God damn it. If I had realized, I'm sitting there watching about 20 minutes in, I realized, holy shit. If I had known what was going on here, I would have killed my stream and telecommed in and been like, what the fuck? I would, it's like, it was, you needed, what was needed in a certain moment was like the surprise appearance of me out of nowhere so that I could just be chastising all y'all. Whatever went down with that prostitute that like head scissored Dermy.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. I went with the other group. There was like a split up of the groups, and I went with the one with Beardo and the Soska sister, and Phil was with them, and all the kind of, we went down the other way, down Fremont. So yeah, I didn't see the prostitute, but I heard about it for 2 days after. So
I've seen videos. There's apparently going to be weighing in again on Friday. Well, here, I mean, what's going to happen on Ballbusters, at least this week, it's everybody's going to be reminiscing about Vegas, and I'm just going to sit there and have nothing to say. So I'll like turn my camera off and like go jerk off or something. I don't know. So
all I know is I got a clip saved of Gal saying I gave Dermy a good time. So
yeah, listen, I'm
gonna find something to do with that.
just give it to the guy so it goes on the soundboards so that can just can be pushed and it can be all around the world. But overall, it sounds like Vegas was a good time. Everybody had a good time. Everybody survived, got home safe, if not a little sick in Devil's case. But that's what happens when you deal with a dancer on a stage, man. You gotta be careful. You don't know what's gonna happen.
There was a lot of really fun moments during the week that I wish everybody could have been there to partake in. But
well, from what I heard, it's just like, you know, paths naturally diverge. Some points people want to do one thing, others want to do others, and no matter what I heard, though, wherever everybody ended up, I heard good times were had.
Yeah.
So that's what was important, that everybody had fun, and that in some cases good content was made, and everybody also, as it gets home safe, because you get in going on these trips. For some people it's a long trip, long drive, long flight. It's crazy out there, and you always want to make sure everybody gets home in one piece. And I'm glad that everybody had a good time and got home safe. And for those who missed it, like myself, my FOMO was very light. Only a couple of moments I thought I want to be like, the most I kind of wanted to be there was to be a part of the Ballbusters show, that making content, doing what we do. I miss it when I'm not involved in that. But otherwise, I mean, my FOMO was pretty light, maybe because I wasn't seeing everything going on. I would have liked to have been a couple of events, but either way, it's a time will come when I can make it out to these things more often, but it is not now. So anyway,
that's what it is. We did. So Chad Devil sent us a video while we were live on Abyssal Musings on Friday from I don't know, some fucking bar in Vegas. But anyway, there's a bunch of people in it, all waving and saying hello and all that stuff. We ended up playing it on Abyssal Musings.
Yeah.
So
I only recognize like maybe 3 people in that video. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, there was a ton, because it was like, what was it? I think that was right before we went to Wicked Pies to get a slice of pizza before we headed to the bars. So we were in the Gold Spike, which is the bar attached to where we stay. And I saw Abyssal Musings, and I was sitting there and I was kind of listening to it, and I was all like, "Hey, everyone, say hi to Sam." And I just held up the camera, and then we took off.
But it was good. I'm glad it was a good success, and it's going to keep happening. What's going to happen though is I feel like people are getting ready to do more and more of their own stuff. Not just wait for Vegas or wait for MegaCon or something like that. And
as it should.
And that's a positive thing, and a lot of discussions are being had, and that'll be fun. So let's see, what do we got tonight here? What do we got? I've got 2 stories. Since we're all here, let's do this one, because I think it's a little controversial, and I'm kind of, I wouldn't say indifferent, but I essentially don't really care, because my relationship with the franchise. That it was a big of a story last week that suddenly out of nowhere Bethesda announced they were going to do an Oblivion remaster.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, what the fuck, man? Skyrim wasn't enough for you?
Well, that shows you what they did. The controversy of that is, though, it came out as the dudes who were finishing up Sky Oblivion, the massive remaster for all this stuff, were almost done, and out of nowhere, here comes Bethesda saying, "Oh, look, we've got Oblivion remastered." So Here you go, guys. And apparently it's coming out tomorrow. Coming out tomorrow. So
I'm not buying that game again.
well, listen, as I said, I've said this in the past. I have a very love-hate relationship with Elder Scrolls in general. The first I ever played with was Morrowind, and I played it on my Xbox, and it was a janky piece of shit. And I was miserable playing it because it always kept bugging out, never working. And I eventually gave up because I couldn't play the game. Nothing worked.
That's a problem with Bethesda games, especially of that era too. They tended to be buggy as shit, and part of the reason was because they were too big for the platforms they were being pushed out on. And the other part of the problem was they didn't bother to fix all the bugs because they were too big to go through all the damn code.
Mm-hmm. So I even though I had a friend tell me Morrowind's so great, after about a couple of weeks of trying to play it, I just said, F this, I'm not playing this. I'm miserable. The game will not play. And I'm not having fun. And so I gave up on that. And I stayed away for years. And it wasn't until Oblivion's Game of the Year edition for the PS3 came out that I decided to give it another try. And I bought that. And I gave that the good old 1-2. I gave it as much as I could. I played it for a month or two. I was doing all kinds of stuff. Kind of no real knowing what I'm doing in the game. Just kind of wandering around doing shit. And I think I've told the story where at one point I had the DLC, which took you to like one of the capital cities. And there was like this little elf dude who wanted money for armor. And for the first couple of times I gave him money. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll help this guy out. And eventually I said, no, fuck you. I'm cutting you off. He said, all right, I'll get you one day. And then sometime later, I'm coming back into town to do something else. And this dude comes up with like super diamond armor and says, you didn't give me money, but I did it anyway. Now I'm going to kill you. And this motherfucker just kept hunting me down in town. And I was like,
that's hilarious. Just give the guy a couple of coins.
But I had been giving him coins. I just cut him off eventually because I didn't have any more. Couldn't afford it. But he comes to kill me, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this game. Fuck it. I'm miserable. Now the game is not sending me on a real story anywhere. I'm wandering around doing shit. I'm not having fun. Fuck these bears. So I'm like, screw it. I'm done. And then that was it. And it wasn't until when I got back from China and I was hobbled and I was looking for anything to play that I picked up Skyrim Ultimate Edition for the PS4 for $12 on Black Friday. And that I beat the living hell out of because that game was easy as fuck on hardest mode. So it was so easy, but and then I tried online, which I was miserable into. I got invited to play with some friends on that, and I hated every minute of it. So I have very little tolerance for Elder Scrolls games. So I am not touching this at all. Might be good for. It would be probably good for streaming, but I hate this game, and I generally am unhappy most of the time, more often than not, playing these games.
I'm the other way around, man. See, Oblivion is probably my favorite Elder Scrolls game. I think it's probably got the best story. It's the DLCs are awesome. I had so much fucking fun playing this game. That's why I'm not buying it again, because I bought it for the PS3 and I played the shit out of it for something like 430 hours, man. And I got it at a discount too, with both DLCs already included in it.
Yeah, Game of the Year edition, right?
Yeah, and it was, and I only paid $15 for it. I got over 400 fucking hours of gameplay out of it, man. I loved it, and I'm very happy with my purchase. But I also did everything you can do in that game, and I'm done. It's the same problem I had with Skyrim, because I really liked Skyrim too, not as much as Oblivion, but I enjoyed it. But there came a point where I had already done everything there was to do, and there was nothing else to do. So there have been times where I've gone back and I'm like, hey, maybe I want to play this again. It's just it holds absolutely no replay value for me, none whatsoever. And so I'm not buying this because I've already played the shit out of it.
But there are people who are going to buy it, despite everything.
I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Devil, do you give a shit?
Not really. I've got so many games stacked up at this point to get through. There's very few games that could come out like series-wise that would make me, excited to get back into them. At this point, like I said, I still got 6 or 7 at this, just sitting there.
And I've got a small backlog, and I've got stuff I'm streaming and stuff I'm waiting to get to stream. And as I said, I have no interest. If I didn't like it a decade ago or over a decade ago, I don't think I'm going to like it this time. Even though I like the idea of how an Elder Scrolls game works, you scratch away to get whatever you can for gear. The leveling system is not. It's an interesting leveling system where you do things to get your points, but
Yeah, literal experience gives you points.
yes, but I think in the end, what I don't like about an Elder Scrolls game, and I think I really felt it when I played through all of Skyrim. I beat Skyrim to the limit. I did everything I possibly could. I don't. While I enjoy a good old fashioned open world, I think what I don't like about Elder Scrolls games is that I need a little bit of a guiding post. Just like I want to see where I'm going, and I'll do everything along the way possible, but I need a little bit of a guiding light. And I just feel like Elder Scrolls games don't have that. And you get so lost in the minutia of following things around that you lose track of the story. And in the end, at least for Skyrim, I thought the Skyrim story was pretty weak.
Yeah, it wasn't the best story that they'd come up with. I think Oblivion's story is much fucking better, and it has a much more satisfying conclusion.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. All I remember is escaping with the guy voiced by Patrick Stewart, and then he's like dead, and then I'm out there wandering, and I'm just doing random shit with no idea what I'm doing. So I don't remember.
At the very beginning of the game, yeah, I gotcha. No, at the end of the game, that same emperor voiced by Patrick Stewart, like his soul gets reincarnated as the dragon god who shows up in the capital city of Cyrodiil to fight the gigantic kaiju-looking version of one of the demon gods, and they're duking it out over your head. They're both like 400 feet tall while you're trying to just not get sucked into hell. It's kind of epic.
Yeah, I had no idea that would happen. I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, it's the end of the main story,
So that's why you're holding on to his medallion the whole game, so you can come back as a dragon?
Pretty much, yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's like he's so the story goes with the emperors of Cyrodiil, right? They're directly descended from a guy who is related in some way. I forget the specific details, to Akatosh, who is like the king of like the good gods, the Aedra, not the Daedra, and he's a dragon god, a big giant golden dragon god. and so essentially it uses like his soul to incarnate itself so that it can fight off the bad guy, which is
some
Mullen
Daedric
Ball,
motherfucker.
yeah, anyway, well, he's the the Daedra of destruction. It's like his whole shtick, and he's the one who's been opening up portals to the Daedric realms all over that you've had to go and close and all that stuff. And he's the reason that demons were walking the earth and that kind of shit. So yeah, and so essentially that medallion is like, you got to take it to the secret order of like ninja monks who use these excessively long katanas, who are, and then there's a whole other cult of like dragon people, priest things from another continent that are also mixed up in this too, which is weird because they're all basically mummies that come back to life. And there's kind of a lot going on with the end of the story, but you gotta go through some shit to get to that point. Yeah.
See, I completely lost track of whatever the main story was right away. I don't remember any of that shit. So and I thought I was getting enjoyment from just wandering around doing random shit, and I like I said, I guess my frustration was building when that dude came back and ganked me because I didn't give him any more money. That was just it for me. I'm like, God damn it, I'm done. I'm just done.
Dude,
I was minding my own business. This motherfucker come and kill me in the middle of
I
town.
think some of the random side quests gave so much flavor to that world, man. There's one where you come across a town full of Khajiit, the cat people, right?
I hate those
And
motherfuckers. I hate the way they
end
speak.
up being contacted by Sheogorath, who is the Daedra of madness and chaos, and he's like, yeah, you want to help me out something? Like, who are you and why are you speaking in my head? And he's like, no, seriously, I got some, I just need you to do a handful of things for me, and trust me, it'll be worth it in the end. So you go around, you do these little things, and each one of these things is essentially trying to convince the population of this town, who are all cat people, that the apocalypse is coming. Right. And not that it's actually coming, but just to fuck with their heads. Right. And the final thing you do essentially summons Sheogorath, who then makes it rain flaming dog carcasses that kill everybody. And it was
That is
so
funny.
worth it.
That is funny. I remember in Skyrim, the Daedra crests are basically to getting weapons that I never used because my swords I crafted were better.
So good. Well, they were so, like, you know how the magic system works, right? Is you got to, like,
Yeah.
steal the souls of your enemies, and then you use those souls to charge up like whatever it is magical that you have.
Yep.
And every time you do that, the crystal that you use to make that happen is consumed, right? One of the Daedric items is a crystal that can be reused over and over and over again. It has no limit, which
I
means
didn't
you
get
don't have to
them
hunt
all.
those fucking things down anymore.
I see. I got a bunch of them. I know I didn't get them all, so I don't know if I got that one.
Yeah,
So-
it's that one's definitely worth it, because it can also absorb black souls, or which were like, you had to get the black crystals to absorb humanoids. Like, you could use any crystals for like bears and rats and dogs and shit, but for humanoids you had to get these special black ones, which are rare as fuck. So if you get this thing instead, you don't need any of those. You can just sell them.
What I haven't heard surrounding this discussion is people going, "Yeah, what about 6? Where's 6?"
Oh, it's not happening.
Yeah,
They'll tell you it's happening, but it's not happening. If it was gonna, if Hammerfall was gonna happen, it would have happened by now.
so they just keep sinking. Is it because they just keep sinking their time into online? Is that what it is?
I don't even think they're supporting that very much. Honestly, I think that's just kind of they're sitting there. They jumped over to things like Fallout 76 and that sort of thing. They're not really dicking around with ESO anymore. You know, like, obviously it's still running. They've still got devs and they've still got servers and shit up, but it's not. I don't think it's receiving anywhere near the support from Bethesda that it once did.
Then,
you know, I think they're off doing. Todd Howard's doing what Todd Howard's doing, which is trying to make money off of things they've already made instead of innovating.
That doesn't make. Maybe it's because I'm kind of brain dead right now with back-to-back streams, so my mind isn't firing on all cylinders. But I don't understand trying to resell the same shit over and over again. Eventually, people are going to stop buying it. Like you just said, you're not going to buy it, and I'm somebody you want to convince to come back, and I'm not going to be being convinced to come back.
No. Yeah,
So-
but that, like you said, other people will buy it. That's the thing. Is the reason that they keep re-releasing and remastering Skyrim so many times over and over and over again, and you know, things like with Naughty Dog with Last of Us, you know, and Last of Us 2. The reason that they keep doing that is because people keep fucking buying them.
Yeah.
It's that FOMO.
But it's the same game. There's nothing new to this Oblivion remaster except it's going to look prettier.
Something different. There might be something different. There might be
isn't.
something different.
No, it's because they've been engineering us to fucking just seal clap at basic bullshit. We don't expect more. We don't ask for more. We should be expecting them to get off their asses and make better games, or we stop purchasing them. Unfortunately, that's not how the market works anymore. Now, like you said, they just have to say it's remastered, and there'll be people who are like, "Oh, I love the game. Oh, I'll go buy it and pay another, $60 for it." We should be seen there going, if you don't put out a new fucking Elder Scroll game, then goodbye. But
Yeah,
people are dumb.
I mean, I just, my logic tells me they would make way more money if they released a new game, a new entry, and it would re-energize the fan base and maybe bring in new fans, because everybody who's played Oblivion has played it. I don't think anybody new is going to be buying the Oblivion remaster, at least not in large numbers. So
You get like nostalgia streamers and obviously the same people who like buying the same shit over and over again. Those are going to be your major customers. Beyond that, you're not going to see a whole lot because honestly, the younger generations of gamers are too fucking young to remember Oblivion.
I mean, but sorry.
You know what I mean? It has been like 15 years. So it's been a while.
But this is the same mentality as they have with Madden, right? I mean, for so many years now, they've never tried to do anything with Madden, but just change a couple people's teams, and then they put out the next year, and people sit there and every single year do it, even though it's the same damn game. Why pay it? It's the same thing here.
Yeah. Well, it is. I think it's like it is apples, but it's two different kinds of apples. I mean, the yearly release of something. I would say the buying of yearly release games like sports games generally, that's more of an addiction. I think because it's like, oh, I got to get this one now. I have to get it because it's the latest thing. It's the latest one. It's going to have all the teams. It's going to have all this, and I'll spend more money to get this. And there are live service junkies who are going to do this. I mean, listen, a while, I was a yearly release guy.
It's like loot boxes and MMOs.
If you participated in that, I only did. I mean, for example, like for Star Wars: The Republic, when they released the cartel boxes, I spent at most in my lifetime maybe $30 on the cartel market, and now it's usually to get content I missed, or a couple of packs of extra little things. But generally, I waited till I had a mounted like another free currency for free. Like right now, if I downloaded and played SWTOR right now, I've got another 2 years because of the way my account is set up, because of certain things. I keep getting cartel coins every month on my account, so I've probably got another 4,000 or 5,000 cartel coins, which could buy me many things just because I wasn't there. And even when I was playing, I would let it mount up. So I understand the loot box thing. I've participated in it, but I barely have. And
right, it's that same kind of like addiction. Like again goes back to the fear of missing out. It's like everybody's getting this cool shit. I went on this too. I need to get this next version of the game because everybody else is going to be playing it. I got to get this. It's just that gambler mentality that you're talking about.
When I was younger in high school and stuff like that, I was a yearly release guy for the NBA Live series from 97 to 2001. I would buy them. But there was a reason. During that period of time, every year, the games actually got better. The technology improved, the gameplay improved, and the rosters were more accurate. And this is before internet and downloading, so there was actual reasons to play the game every year, to buy a new one every year. Now, eventually the games started to be shit, so I got out of it, but I did do it. Same with WWE games starting in 2007, Raw vs. SmackDown 2007. I bought those on a yearly basis until 2013, when by that point it was 2K Sports Takeover. And that's when it took a dive. When WWE started licensing it out to 2K to make it, then it became crap. And the 2K series is horrible. So, but for a while I did it because every time the technology improved, the gameplay improved, the rosters improved. And for a while they were giving us free roster updates, not making us pay DLC for shit. And the modes were improved. The problem was, like I said, in 2K13 and beyond, suddenly they stopped innovating and they devolved because they took away, for example, create your own finisher. So as soon as I couldn't create my own finisher, I was like, whoa, you've just taken away one of the most original things about me playing, because I didn't play as superstars. I made my own rosters and injected them into the game, my own stables. So yeah, so I used to be a yearly guy, but I stopped being a yearly guy. The last thing I did was 2K13. I mean, I did eventually buy another WWE game in around 2022. but that was because I was sort of trying to get back into wrestling and I wanted to play the game, and that turned out to be a crap game. I didn't really enjoy it in the end because the controls were not as good as they were a decade ago.
Yeah, the controls got too fucking. I know they wanted to add where they could do more and more moves and shit, but it got to where it's like, okay, first you have to hit up on the control pad, then hit the X button, then hit down on the control pad so you could select this
The
kind of
grapple
moveset. It's
system
like,
became
what the
overly
fuck?
complicated, and the problem was the computer, if you didn't adjust the sliders, it would just counter grapple everything you did, the AI, and it became impossible. You had to find that sweet spot where it was a realistic counter, yet not a counter to everything you did.
Yeah,
And that became a pain in the ass.
Yeah, once the controls got so fucking goddamn, it just I was like, oh god. But I also agree with you that when they stopped having all the build your own character features that they had at one point, it took away from it, because that's kind of was always the selling point. Is everybody wants to be a wrestler when you're a kid, right? You want to be a pro wrestler, and that gave you the opportunity to do it. You could sit there and design, like you said, the finisher, the opening to your how you entered the arena.
They actually still kept all that.
Everything.
They actually improved on that, but they improved on it. You took away an awesome thing in WWE 12 before it became 2K13. You could take a thumb drive with music on it, your MP3s and stuff like that, and plug it into the PS4, and the game would read it, and you could put your own music for your entrance theme. So at one point I had a Welcome to the Jungle for my character entrance theme, and it was awesome. But then suddenly in 2K13, oh no, sorry, we don't let you put your own music in the game anymore. You have to go with what we have in here, and it's all gay and stupid. If you're not borrowing a true entrance theme from another superstar, which kind of sucks. Like, wait a minute, no, I don't want to borrow somebody else's entrance theme. I'm not. I want my superstar to be an original thing. So they improved on a lot of stuff, but they took away things that made it fun for your individual experience. And like I said, for me, the kicker was not having create my own finisher. I made some dynamite ass finishers for a lot of people, and taking that away from me sucked easily 50% of the enjoyment out of it.
Dude, I was always trying to make finishers that looked like they made no sense, because anyone who played it, the way you made the finisher it was like you chose your stance for the finisher, what you originally started out as, where they, like Stone Cold Stutter, where they, whatever it was. Yeah. And then you moved to this, and you chose this, and you chose this, and you chose this, and if it should be, this like smooth arc.
It should be a shoestring.
So I would have them down there, and then I'd pick them up here, and then I'd put them down there again. And then, I just made like these ridiculous finishers that made no sense, but it was fun.
See, I went for ones that did have clean transitions. I always had ones that start them here, get them to a fireman's carry, and then it's like switch to a suplex or like a reverse neck breaker or a stunner of some sort. And I love doing all that kind of shit. I loved making finishers, and they took that away from me, and I never forgave them. And I gave them another chance, and I think it was 2022, and they still failed me. So then I'm done, and I'm not going back, because I'm not going back to those games. There's no reason for me to. There isn't, and it's not because I don't want to, and it's not because I'm looking to play with anybody, because I was perfectly happy in my solo experience playing those games. I didn't want to play anybody online. I didn't want to play with my friends. I'm happy playing by myself, creating my own stories with my own rosters. Shut up. But now there's just no fun in it. Yeah, and it's done. And we were talking about this in a little while ago before Who Cares Reviews. It's just Mania was this weekend, and I was watching from the outside with clips and this and that. Overall, it looked freaking boring to me. Overall, I'm just not interested in wrestling anymore. I'm just not. I don't think it would take something major to bring me back, and because it's been literally 5 years since I actively watched. That's like one of the longest gaps I've ever taken between coming and going. So, yeah. So Oblivion 4 remaster. Well, go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say I can't relate to any of the last 5 minutes, because I haven't been into wrestling since 1986.
That's a very fair statement. That's very fair. If you haven't been watching it for like the past 40 years, then it's an alien. It's definitely an alien thing to you at this point. But remastered Oblivion, I'm sure it's going to make some sort of a splash tomorrow. Everybody's going to be talking about it, but I won't be playing it. If I play anything tomorrow, it'll be more Mass Effect since I can't get my hands on Lunar. Oh yeah. Sam, remember yesterday when I did that segment on the scalpers for Lunar Remastered? Every copy sold out that they had. Every copy. 24 people paid triple the price for the game to get their physical copy from a scalper seller. I want my physical copy, but I will wait until they get the next pressings out. I'm not going to pay $150 for that. It's not. Boggles my mind that people are that dumb, because that's dumb. I consider that dumb. I just do. All right. What else? I don't know. Let's do this instead. We haven't done one of these for a while. Disgusting cooking methods. This I've been sitting on this one for a few weeks, I think, because I was scrolling through my bookmarks. I don't know about you. I think this even goes beyond drinking from the hose. Okay. All right. I'm not cooking food in the dishwasher.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this. This is nasty. That's a chicken breast. Okay.
I've seen chicken breast shit like this. Yeah.
It's a chicken breast. And I don't know. Look at this. Look at this. So essentially, they're boiling it in a dishwasher. Look at this. She's going to eat it. No.
Excuse me.
That is revolting.
Oh, shit.
I'm not. Are you eating this?
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'm not
Only
even
pretty girls. Only pretty girls can cook like retards, because if you're not a gorgeous chick, you have to fucking, produce something. This chick, her dude is like, "Oh, honey, this is so good." And the second she turns his back, throws that fuck away, and then goes fucks her.
But, I mean, that is the most revolting chicken breast I've ever seen. I mean, it was one thing to be back in the day when they boiled everything. You just boiled chicken in a jar and water in a dishwasher. There's no way that thing is even cooked all the way through.
No, it's not.
And is that pasta? I don't even know what that is next to it.
I think it's supposed to be
pasta. That's gross.
Gross. It was gross. And you couldn't even pay me to do this.
I would.
No, go ahead.
I just, she doesn't even I don't know. There's no seasoning on it. Yeah.
No seasoning. Exactly. She just put water in a jar with the chicken breast. She didn't season it. It means it's going to be tasteless. Oh my God. And listen, I know it obviously gets hot in a dishwasher, hot enough to successfully clean dishes. There's no way it's really hot enough in the dishwasher to cook a chicken breast.
You're hearing that right. I'm not the only one.
What? Hearing what?
Okay, I'm hearing something. Hold on. My audio's fucked.
It's got to be Sam. Are you hearing anything?
No, just my own heavy breathing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything either. And I didn't fart or anything, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was hearing like a static, but it was almost like a static, but an echo static. That was fucking weird.
I think it was
like coming. Yeah, it must have been.
It was you.
I just switched the source on my headphones back and forth, and it cleared up.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if you unplug something and plug it back in, that's like sometimes like Like last week, my audio cut out in the middle of Sam and I talking, and I didn't know it, and I thought that the shit internet had hit. But
Yeah,
no,
I'm sitting there talking, and I'm just like, I'm like, dude, I'm right here. Everything's working on my end. I don't know why you keep.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that
that.
out of nowhere, my audio for my headset had just disconnected from the computer. So the chat's telling, and then suddenly I realized the chat's telling me, "Yeah, we hear Sam. It's you." And I mean, all I had to do is unplug the USB and for my headset and plug it back in for the sensor, but I didn't know. But
Yeah,
because of the history of the shit internet, I was like, "Oh, the shit internet,"
twice, and it wasn't me
for once. But yeah, so I mean, all right, back to so this thing, this wasn't a long one, but this is disgusting. It's vile.
Yeah,
and
somebody's getting salmonella from that.
Yes. Well, here's the thing also, and I bring this up. And I don't know if it's still a trend because, of course, I don't follow modern day culinary bullshit. There was a trend for a while of medium rare chicken. No.
Oh my god, hell no.
No.
You can't do that with fucking poultry or reptiles, by the way. Reptilian meat, you got to treat just like poultry.
Or
Same
pork.
problem.
You can't do that with pork either. They must be cooked. Pork for trichinosis and poultry for salmonella. You got to cook this shit. So, I mean, I have a deep-seated fear of getting salmonella. I've never gotten it, but having worked with raw chicken all my life in kitchens, and I have a deep-rooted fear of it. It's like I will cook that chicken. So I mean, it's this is repulsive to me. But people actually, there was a fad for a while, and in one of my favorite anime, Food Wars, one of the dishes at one point is served like winning dishes of one of the competitions in the one of the arcs served rare chicken. I'm like, what are you doing? No, I love you characters. It's fun and shit, but no, don't be serving raw. That's raw chicken. It's disgusting. It's sick. Hate it. I hate it. All right. So this chick may be cute, but I'd never let her
not
cook for
that
me.
cute. She's trying to kill you.
I put something in the chat. Your Renaissance nerd room. Yeah,
I see it. What's this? What is it? Oh, okay. All right. Well, is it 6 minutes? Have you watched this whole thing?
Yeah. You don't have to go through all of it. Just the end. You could. But
do we need audio, or can we do without audio? Do we need the audio? Because I'll have to.
Not really. It just
all right.
How nasty it is.
All right. Let's bring this up. So we have a lady, and from what I saw, she's pouring Doritos into a bucket.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to say this, and y'all might yell at me. I don't like Doritos, so take that.
I think I remember reading something not that long ago that the flavoring they use on the Cooler Ranch Doritos is some kind of carcinogen.
What is?
So she puts 3 types of Doritos in there. She doesn't even stick to one flavor.
What is that?
Taco seasoning, I believe.
Wait, what is that? Oh, I hate this.
It's like,
is she making nachos?
I think so. I think she has this idea that somehow this is a clever way to make a bunch of nachos for like a sports game.
But you're in a plastic bucket.
Exactly.
What are you gonna?
She could have got a bunch of small bags of Doritos, like the personal size, and like put bowls of the stuff out and had each person make their own little nachos. But she thinks she's a fucking genius by making this, even though it looks nasty as shit at the end.
This is
a lasagna. This isn't nachos.
It's gross, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, your hands ain't clean, honey.
Oh god!
Don't touch the food. Not with nails like that. Those nails. Oh my, yeah. Oh, dude, her hands with nails like that. She got all kinds of shit. No. Oh. So how do you get to the? Listen, I'm no fan of nachos at all because I don't really like that type of stuff. But how are you going to get to the chips?
You'll see. And like I said, it's nasty because it's. I'll wait till the end.
Why are we putting all this extra shit in there? What is this? Was this some sort of taco now? I don't. Is those raw onions?
Yep.
Oh, honey, no. Don't put raw onions in there. Oh. Oh, that's offensive. Nobody in their right mind wants to eat raw onions. No.
Oh, jeez. It just keeps getting worse.
What is she?
But like I said, it's not even that she used Doritos, right? Because Doritos, they have those taco pockets and stuff. It says she used Cool Ranch, normal, and then sweet chili. How does sweet chili match up with those other two in any way? It seems disgusting to me.
This whole thing is disgusting. What's that?
Olives.
Olives?
Yep, now olives.
This is
like, yeah.
it's a trough for pigs.
I know.
I don't know that I would feed this to pigs.
Well, they'll eat anything.
I know they will, but that doesn't mean it's good for them.
They'll eat each other.
Yeah, which is better for them.
I've seen videos of like mama pigs, sows eating their own young.
Yeah.
And she's gonna put this out and think, oh, they're gonna be so impressed. I saw this, I'd be like, what the fuck have you done?
It's like pickle juice, isn't it?
It's
Those are green
pickled
olives.
jalapenos. No, jalapenos.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everything that she's putting in there, I'm not like offended by that. I'm offended by the way she's
How do you
presentation of
even
it, but
eat
two, the way
this?
she's putting. Yeah. Yeah, she'll show you. It's fucking creepy and stupid, but she'll show you.
Are we all right? We're not even, all right. We're more than halfway through it, so I guess we're going to the end. Sour cream?
Yep.
Oh, goddamn.
These are fully loaded nachos. She's leaving nothing out. I'm surprised she didn't try to put a can of chili or something on top of them just because she's all, it's just not redneck enough.
Yeah, I'm so glad I've eaten dinner. I wouldn't have an appetite after looking at this. Is that guac?
Yeah, baby poo guac here.
Not a fan of guac.
I like guac when you make it yourself. I hate the store-bought shit. It doesn't taste right. Like the pre-made squeeze bottles or jars or whatever. She is so happy with herself. She thinks she just invented them.
Dumped everything into a bucket, lady. You're no freaking artist.
But wait, there's more.
We got 1 minute left. Another
more
round
nacho cheese.
You know what? I bet she didn't even clean that.
She didn't put it on.
She didn't even clean that bucket out. I bet.
Here you go. This is how she's serving it. She did all that to shove it in a fucking cup.
How do you even eat it though?
With fucking spork.
Looks like Taco Bell threw up in a container.
It does. Oh, it looks so nasty. And the chips are gonna get so soggy.
Yeah.
Like it's so unpractical. But look at that. But she thinks she fucking did something amazing.
I hate.
No, that's like Pizza the Hut right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And her husband. And her husband, you know, he's being a nice husband. He's all like, honey, you did such a great job. I'd be like, woman, you need to get a job. You can't be a housewife no more. You fucked up too bad.
No, it's not. You didn't do anything. You just dumped the things in a bucket.
Yeah. Could you imagine you walk into a fucking party and that's just sitting in the middle of a fucking table?
Yeah, I'd turn around and walk the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Well, that was informative.
I had to punish you with that, man. When I watched it, I was like, oh, God. The only person who could appreciate how egregious this is Adam. Being
All right, you know what I'm going to do? I think I have one of these deep in my bookmarks here now. If we're going to play that game, I'm going to counterpunch.
Why do I have to be punished?
You're just an innocent bystander, okay? Except being
friendly fire,
a friendly fire casualty. All right, here I got. All right. Here's this one. Okay, I got two of these actually. I got two. I forgot I had this. All right. We've got another dishwasher chef. Another dishwasher chef.
Another one?
And this one's a dude.
Well, I expect it from a dude. Shit.
Dishwasher steak.
I get where they're going with the concept idea because it's kind of like sous vide. That's what sous vide is essentially. You're cooking at a lower temp for a long period of time. Okay, fine, whatever. In a close thing. But look at that. At least he's searing it after, I guess.
Yeah, not really. You just put a steak. Oh my god. It's not even a good cut of meat. Look at that thing.
No.
That is like the shittiest fucking meat. And now you're gonna
At least he's seasoning in there too.
I wouldn't call that seasoning.
That's over seasoning. Holy crap, dude. It's a steak, salt and pepper. All you need is salt and pepper. Fucking hell, dude.
Start with salt and pepper. Let who you're serving it to put whatever else they want on it afterwards. You know.
I love.
Look, this guy's a soy motherfucker. I want to punch him in the face.
I like sous vide. We have sous vide chicken breasts at the restaurant. We also now do our steaks sous vide. I can appreciate that, but this just seems like such a redneck version of it. I just don't know if I care.
I'm a
little over there, buddy.
I'm a high temperature cooker. I'm a high
little
temperature
over.
cooker.
It looks like.
It's
no, that's actually decent.
Yeah, I am not, dude.
I probably still wouldn't eat it. Yeah, I still wouldn't eat it. But I can appreciate this is better than the girl's version because at least he seasoned it. At least he seared it afterwards. He didn't just boil it in the bag and then throw it on a plate and go, "Look, it's done."
It's still disgusting, and that's a horrible cut of meat too. That's like the cheapest fucking meat.
Yeah, I did not look good.
No. You have a giant piece of nasty fat in the center of it like that. Oh, don't feed it to that old lady. Don't do that.
Do it. She's gonna have a hard time gumming that. It looked a little tough.
Oh man, I see. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I don't like you. But then, all right. So I had that one. Now, this next one's more along the line of what Devil put us through, and we've seen ones like this before, but they're always a treat. They're always a treat. These moms who think they're this giant batch of slop they make is a good kid's dinner. We've seen these ones before. They always got to start with the wraps, and we're getting McDonald's fries. So the layer of fries.
Oh, I've seen this one, yeah.
Oh, I've seen variations of this. You got shells, pasta.
These are bad parents.
This is terrible.
These are awful bad parents. Why? Because making your kid a homemade dinner doesn't necessarily make it good. It's what you give them just as much as you actually cooking it yourself. If your kid eats this, it's worse for them than fucking getting them a McDonald's hamburger.
But they got the McDonald's fries, which boggles my mind.
But they sit there and they make this and they think that they're doing right by their kids. You're fucking poisoning your fucking kids, you dumb bitch.
This thing is nothing but high cholesterol garbage right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not one part of this that is like nutritional in any way good for the child. It's just
not real cheese.
Bad. Salt, especially. Oh my god, the salt level in this must be ridiculous.
Ugh. And then just because it's in a wrap doesn't make it healthy.
This is what she gives them right before she leaves them in front of the TV to go suck some dude's dick she met on fucking Tinder.
Look at that. There is zero protein in that. I mean, okay, there's the chicken nuggies, but that's like shit.
Dude, that's
garbage.
That's processed clone shit, man. That's not real meat.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the shape of Mickey Mouse. That is like the lowest of the low of chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets are the particle board of meat.
she could have took a couple things, changed it out for something a little more practical, and made them a decent thing. You want to fucking, put down, slice some potatoes, then lay them down. Fucking if you don't want to cook it yourself, put some of that fucking pre-diced chicken, like a rotisserie chicken you can get from the store down, a little bit of cheese, some Alfredo sauce, some more potatoes, and bake it and fucking make them a casserole, right? Great. I'm fine with that. But like you said, this is just her taking the most absolute ridiculously shitty way out of
you gotta
being
realize
fucking
she
responsible.
bought McDonald's fries. She recooked McDonald's fries.
Yeah, which is never good. I mean, once those things lose their heat, they're just worthless. And they're not good for you anyway, in any way, shape, or form. But like once that initial, like right out of the fryer heat goes away, it's just garbage. And no amount of reheating is going to fix that.
Nope.
Yeah. And those nuggets are, the not nuggets. The nuggets will cook. The tater tots. Tater tots are supposed to be on a sheet pan because it browns them and gets them crispy. They're not going to crisp up inside there. In fact, they're going to steam. So they're actually going to be soggy, fucking limp, like tater tots on top of soggy, limp chicken nuggets because nothing's going to crisp. It's inside a fucking pocket. It's going to steam. Stupid.
Dude, I totally agree with you on everything you said here, Devil, except for one thing. I think you're being a little prematurely judgy when you say she's gonna leave her kids in front of the TV with this to go blow some dude she met on Tinder. I don't think she's leaving the room.
You're probably right. I was about to say
that took a second. That took a second for me to comprehend what you just said.
I thought you were going to sit there and like pitch that maybe she's a good mom. She just doesn't know how to cook. I was going to be like,
no.
I got books on it. Much worse. Yeah, you're all like, actually, she's more of a bitch.
That took a second. I was like, wait a minute, what's he saying?
Yeah, I took you guys on a journey with that little story.
And
my brain is slowing down tonight. That's the problem.
And she's not done because you know exactly what they're going to do with that. After she puts that piece of shit on a plate and hands it to her kids, they're going to douse it in a cup of fucking ketchup.
Yeah, they're going to squeeze ketchup all over that shit. All of that shit in there requires ketchup, though. That's the thing. Every single thing in there requires ketchup.
Orange dressing.
I'm not a fan of ranch, but I mean,
I'm saying, or the kids will put ranch on it. One or the other. It's going to be doused in something that's full of more salt and awful for them. Redneck lube. Ranch is redneck lube.
God,
it's like with flecks of cancer in it.
Ugh. See, this is depressing me.
You brought it up.
Well, I know, but I didn't know we were going to go down this big a tunnel of it. I didn't have it. Listen, it's been a weird week, and I didn't get anything really super fun to talk about. I don't have a collection of things.
Yeah, there's not much going on in the world of pop culture this week. So.
Well, we're supposed to nerd out, have fun over things. We're not supposed to yell about things, and I did all that yesterday, and I already did that tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't. I'll be honest. I thought I had enough, and I didn't get enough. I mean, I didn't get enough for that. Normally, I would have had a half an hour between the end of Who Cares reviews and this, but we ran long, so I didn't have enough time to kind of solidify anything. And the rest of my day was a mess. I had to make enough dinner. I had to make a whole bunch of dinner stuff. So it's been a weird day. It's been a very weird day for me.
Oh, I got something we could talk about if you want.
Go for it. I'll take it. What do you got?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Let's talk Monster Hunter Wilds. Devil, you've been playing it, so you can talk it.
Yeah.
I came into possession recently of a very generous donation of a PS5 and Monster Hunter Wilds. And so I've been playing that, which reminds me, gentlemen, after the show, I'm gonna, want to get both of your PSN numbers, but PSN reviews. But that said, while I am enjoying it, there are a few things that are kind of getting under my skin a little bit about it. Number one, there are a lot of female characters and 2 femboys who might as well be. the only masculine dude I've run into so far who wasn't the guy who sent you on this journey in the first place, and wasn't, like characters that you meet later at different villages and shit, is a dick and very, very white. Everybody else is some kind of ethnicity or other. So there is that, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not something that's like game breaking for me or anything. But it is getting under my skin. Number two, why in the fuck did they think it was a good idea to give the Palico a fucking full voiceover? Right. And it sounds it's not the same actress. I checked. But it sounds exactly like the fucking handler from World.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I want to murder that chick to this day.
Yeah. Otherwise it's mostly quality of life changes for fucking noobs. It's the game's fun. I'm enjoying it, but I have been playing for about 10 hours and I have yet to come up against anything challenging.
Let me ask you this, because I only got to play the beta. I haven't gotten around to playing the full game yet. When I played the beta, I wasn't a fan of the mount and all the mechanics involving the mount. How do you feel about it as an experienced player?
So this is one of those quality of life changes that they made for noobs. Instead of tracking the monster the old-fashioned way, on foot, having to figure out where they're going, having to figure out what their patterns are, right? This thing auto does it for you. And I find that kind of like you don't have to use it. You don't have to use it. That is optional. You can go on foot if you want, but it's not in any way required. The scout flies you don't have to find. This is one of the things that World did right. Like I still think the scout flies were a mistake in the beginning anyway. But one of the things they did right with them was that you actually had to find footprints, you had to find leavings, you had to find like claw marks and stuff, and build a kind of a profile on the monster before the scout flies would actually find the damn thing. Right. So there was some measure of investigative hunting involved. In this, no, it's just, if you're in the mission, you just go right to the damn monster. It's already got its location memorized. The mount does. I did notice though, like 'cause you're saying that it makes you like where you're supposed to go, right? Kind of like being on a track and not so much freedom of movement. You can move freely with it. The problem is you cannot stop moving unless you get off the damn thing. But you can influence this direction and where you want to go with it and all that stuff, and its speed and all that stuff. So like that's not quite so bad. I preferred the dog and Rise, for this kind of thing. I also feel like I wasn't sure. Sorry. You had mentioned like being able to carry a second weapon. And now that I'm doing that, I wasn't sure how I would feel about that. But honestly, I'm enjoying that feature quite a bit because that allows me to keep a blunt object for breaking claws and a sharp weapon for tailing things.
Yeah, see, for me, it would be like a melee weapon and then a ranged weapon, so I can back off on things. But that was my.
That's not how I'm Monster Hunter, dude. I get in the fucking face and one of us is going down.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We all have our different styles. That's the thing. See, I didn't know how I felt about the mount with it, and one of the things I liked from World was the thrill of finally finding the den of where this motherfucker is sleeping, and tracking it when it was wounded to where it sleeps. Like, oh, now I've got you, and I'm gonna get in a bunch of free fucking hits while you stand the fuck up. So that kind of sucks that they took away some of the, I guess, work.
They took away some of the actual hunting, the actual groundwork, which I do find a little disappointing. I mean, I can adapt. I can learn to live with it. The game's still fun. It's just not. It's not the same as. To be fair, nothing in Monster Hunter is like it was back in the day. Nothing is. Like they've changed a bunch of shit over the years, and you just adapt to the little things here and there. But this was clearly made in mind for people who have never touched the franchise before. I think they kind of toned down the learning curve. It's not. It's a lot easier to pick stuff up. Certain things like I'm running with a hammer and a greatsword right now. The greatsword's got this 3-hit combo, true combo that you can do. It's a 4-hit true combo if you pull it off correctly, and each part can be charged separately, right? And it's like you hold triangle and then it hits, and then you hold triangle again and then it hits, and then you hold triangle again and it hits. That used to actually require patience and timing, and now you just press the button and it fucking goes off. Right, and that's a little annoying.
Now, again, during during the beta, they didn't have it, and I mentioned this to you, and I was wondering if they have it. Do they have target lock on? Because they didn't have it in the
Kind of.
beta. Okay.
Kind of. So the wound system sort of negated the need for that.
Uh-huh.
Right. Now you can hit target lock on, and what that'll do is orient your camera towards where the monster currently is, but it doesn't
Yeah.
focus your camera on the monster. You kind of have to adapt and roll with that. So I don't hate that though, because I didn't use the lock on much in the past anyway.
Mm.
You know, because then it became too difficult to see where else you were. Like it really
I
easy to get back
guess
against the wall.
I've just been doing stuff with lock on a lot lately, so I kind of want it so I can keep my focus at least on a limb.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
I got you, man. I understand. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that for me, it's not that big a deal because I didn't really use it much to begin with.
Yeah, I feel like I remember in World I would use it to lock on to the limb I was focused on, and just hammer away at the limb until they were gimped and crippled and broken and shit like
Yeah.
that. So
Now this one's all about positioning, and so like with the wound system, like so the combo is you hold R2 or L2 and then you hit R1, and if you hit one of the wounded sections on the monster, it automatically goes through and destroys that wound, and you get like a drop and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And all that. So yeah, that I actually don't mind so much. I thought I was not going to like that system, but I don't really have an issue with it.
I didn't have a
kind of been
problem when I did the wound either. You're in there, you're grinding at it, you're hitting at it.
Mhm.
I didn't mind that either. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to get it, but it's not high on my list at the moment, just because
Mhm.
it's the price is still a little bit too high. It's dropped a little bit,
Sure.
but not enough. I'd like it to be another $10 at least before I consider getting it, and it's already dropped like $7 or $8.
Yeah,
I can go look.
I
at it
wasn't
right now, actually.
intending to get it anytime soon at all. I was looking at like
Yeah.
at least another year.
Oh no,
And,
the price went back up. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's only dropped $7 right now. So yeah, it was a little
so-
lower last time I looked.
yeah, I
Price went
was
back up.
looking at least another year before I was able to fucking get into this, and
Mhm.
it kind of fell into my lap. As it were.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've been doing the thing, but like I said, man, like the challenge is clearly designed for
Mhm.
people, and I don't know, maybe it's still early days in the game. Maybe it gets harder later. You know, I hope it does. So far, I haven't been that impressed with the challenge though. Like I told you the other day, man, I ended up with almost a full Balahara set before I even came close to unlocking the quest for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I just went out to the desert and beat the shit out of a bunch of them.
Which is what I also would naturally do. I'm just going to go out and I'm going to fight shit, and I'm not going to worry about quests because I just want to explore, get to know the game, and when you, and that's part of the thing, being an open world game. You know, you're not going to be, unless it's a story monster that's locked into something, an event, you're not going to fight it. But if you're going to different territories, you're just going to be able to fight anything you want.
Yeah.
And get there.
I am liking the diversity of environments, and what, man, I can't believe they actually included like seasons in this game. That's so fucking
they got
cool.
seasons?
Yeah. They got, like, when you first get to the desert area, it's in what's called the fallow season, and then there's the plenty season, which happens after the storm comes and then the rains come and all that shit, and it changes the environment fucking completely. You know, there's grasses and there's like different animals and there's, you know, like all kinds of cool shit. Like, they actually put living, breathing seasons in this game, and that is a very cool upgrade.
That is pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's one of the things about when I played World. Everything was static. You know, once you knew how everything worked, there was no out of left field twist to throw you a curveball. And
I mean, yes, yeah, you know, I mean, every once in a while something fucked up would happen that you didn't see coming.
no, I mean, like in terms of the environment or something like that. You know, the territory is
Sure.
what it is.
Oh yeah. They, you know, and I'm liking how big the territories are. You know, that's been pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But I know I remember specifically when I first started playing World, right? And you're in the forest area, and you first run into an Anjanath, right? So there's this big hollow log that you can use to hide in. You know, like you run into the log, you crouch, and all that stuff. And that was my first experience with like Monster Hunter is not really known for its destructible environments.
Mhm.
and the fucking Anjanath, who was now breathing fire, came right through the sidewalk and fucking kicked the shit out of me.
See, that's cool. These games are fun, and I have enjoyed my time when I play them. And I only actually played with like one other person for a while, and she is playing this right now. At least she was last time she reached out to me a couple months ago. But yeah, these games in the end are also best played with friends. It's one of those, and we've talked about this, that it's more fun when you're a team and everybody's got a specific gear set. You know, you've got your loadout that you're going to be specialized in, so everything kind of gets covered when you're doing a hunt. And that I look forward to that. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get it now, but I'm probably going to get it eventually. And
yeah, well, and the story aspect is actually kind of new. Like, there's always been a story in the games, but you usually, like, way back in the day, none of the characters were voiced at all.
Yeah,
so you just got dialogue and all that stuff, and you had to talk to certain people at specific times to get certain dialogues, and then you had to pick up like Hunter's Life magazines, which would give you backstory on different things in the world itself. But all of that was completely optional and didn't affect any of the game whatsoever, right?
World changed that.
Yeah, well, World wasn't the first one to introduce like active story elements, but it was the first one to make it an integral part of the game.
Yeah,
which is because it became more popular with normies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and normies want a story, and they want like fucking like voiced cutscenes and shit like that, and so that's kind of the direction the series has been going, which I find a little bit annoying because used to be the only cutscenes you had were when a new monster was introduced.
Yeah. Now they've got one all the time.
Oh man, dude, I would be so much further in this game if I didn't have to stop every 5 fucking minutes and have like a long drawn out tale of sorrow about this fucking kid and his whole family getting wiped out. I'm so sick of this kid, man. I want to find his family so we can like ditch him already.
Yeah, I want to abandon him on the side of the fucking road, man.
It's like he came up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with these guys," and I was like, "Good, see ya." And then Alma comes up and she's like, "Oh, we're going too." I was like, "Fuck!"
Shut up, Emma.
It's like, Alma, you're cute, but you know, don't fucking test me. I got a giant hammer.
Oh man! Now the game is, of course, it's still in its early stages right now because it's still just the base game. They haven't started adding anything yet.
Yeah, there won't be DLC for probably like major DLC for probably a year, and then they'll add on something that's essentially doubles the size of the game.
I remember in World, they actually started pretty soon, and it was only like in about 4 or 5 months before they started adding stuff.
Well, yeah, you're talking like little things though, like cosmetic touches, occasional monsters, you know, that kind of thing. But like for the major DLC, that'll be like a year or two.
Yeah, I'm only talking like it's like here comes an additional hunt. Here's a raid and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. They've
already started doing that with this. Yeah. Like they just brought that fucking Leviathan from Ryzen, the one with all the bubbles. I can't remember what its name is. But they just reintroduced the monster from there. A couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the game has definitely it's got its base and it's brought in new players. I mean, Devil's one of them. I know that Shock was playing it. A couple other people were playing it, and I think Kel's playing it. It's not very hard to get people to go back into it. Just a matter of
it's very pretty. It's you know. I've been enjoying it. I'm not, you know, of the criticisms that I have, none of it is stuff that stops me from enjoying the game. I am enjoying it.
Not game breaking. It's just your personal, as a veteran player is what you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like you have infinite fucking. I'm glad they brought the paintballs back, but why do you have infinite fucking paintballs? There's and why do I have paintballs at all if the fucking scout flies automatically know where the goddamn monsters are anyway, even if I've never encountered them before? That makes no sense at all because the whole purpose of the paintball is to track the monsters, right? Used to be, you go into an area, you find the monster, and you would have to hit it with a paintball because when it left the area, you would not see it on your map unless you would hit it with the paintball, which only had about a 10-minute lifespan, and then you had to hit it with another one.
That's the thing is I've found that everything in your fucking goddamn pack, none of it's really necessary. Like I haven't really been using most of the stuff, traps and all that shit. And I'm sure they're great, but I haven't needed to use them.
Traps are something that I will use because historically in Monster Hunter, you tend to get slightly better and sometimes even more rewards when you trap an animal versus killing it.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
But I haven't seen that play out here. I've only trapped one monster so far, though. Everything else has been because I just got the mats to start making traps.
When me, Shock, and I think it was Weasel at that time, we were trying to catch. It might have just been me and Weasel, trying to catch one of them. It took like 3 times of catching them for it to give us more than when we were just killing them. So, like I said, it just to me, I was like,
No,
"Fuck
fair
that! I'm just
enough.
gonna kill everything."
Yeah, it depends on I guess on your preference, that kind of thing. And also used to be there were like things you could do in camp that would increase chances of like better or not even necessarily more rewards, but like higher quality rewards. Like you'd end up getting like plates and gems and shit from catching them, as opposed to just hoping RNG would be good enough to give you a good carve off a tail, you know. So I don't know. Well, I have like I said, I just got the mats to start building traps and stuff. So I'm gonna experiment more with that. But that's been you know, sometimes you just need to die though, man. If they're a big enough pain in the ass, I'm not interested in trapping them. I'm just gonna smash them in the head until they stop breathing.
Yeah, sometimes you're just killing something. Sometimes just to kill. It's like fuck it. I don't even need this, but I am going to kill you because you're there.
Because he was a dick. I'm not cruel, but I am vengeful and petty.
Yes, yes. It's like I remember what you did to me. I'm going to find you where you sleep, and I'm going to carve you into pieces.
If
You know the best
serious,
thing to do is the. Sorry.
I was gonna say, if a serious man was in the fucking chat right now, he could take this entire conversation, cut out every time we mention Monster Hunter, and make it sound like we're fucking sociopaths. I'm gonna smash in his head till it's dead and stops kicking.
I was about to go on about how I love waking monsters up with explosives. It's one of my favorite things to do. That was always a problem with the old squad I used to run with. It was like we each had our own jobs to do and all that stuff. My job was essentially to get the monster's attention and to piss it off, and I would do that by bombing the shit out of it and any of the players who were anywhere near those explosions. Good times, man.
Good time. We both said it. Good time.
I love doing that shit. I do, and I'm so far. I'm enjoying this. There's just a handful of things that are bothering me, but it's early days for me yet. So we'll see what happens down the road. And all that. I don't know. I hear rumors about potential additions to the monster roster down the road. There is a fan theory, and this may be nothing, but it doesn't always turn out to be nothing, that White Fatalist may eventually reappear.
I don't know what that is.
It's let me put it this way. Black Fatalist is responsible for destroying an entire country in the olden days overnight by itself. And it's the baby version.
Oh.
White Fatalist is the adult.
We're talking extinction level thing there, yeah.
Yes. Well, all of the black dragons are extinction level creatures, but Fatalist is the worst because he really has a hard on for killing people specifically. Hates them. In fact, most of his armor is made from hunters that it has murdered and then, fused to its back with its dragon fire.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the lore behind Fatalist is super fucked up. You should definitely look into that.
Well, I see. This is the thing, though. I do like it that a franchise goes this long and they keep respecting their lore, and it gives you shit to look forward to. So I do like that. I like that. That makes it fun. That does.
Yeah, it is pretty. It is pretty cool. And Capcom has had some hiccups in recent years, but historically, especially with this series, they've been very, very good to their fan base. I mean, most of this stuff, almost all of the DLC stuff that'll happen will happen with automatic updates that you're not paying extra for, unless they do like a big expansion, for example, which they have done the last couple of them. So that probably will happen, but it wasn't like, you paid for a couple of fucking cosmetics with that. You got an entire second half of the game that was basically doubled the whole thing's size. I mean, there was a lot to it. It was completely worth the fucking price.
Mhm.
And they've always been very, very good about that kind of thing and doing events and maintaining these games and maintaining their connection to their fan base and all that stuff. Like I think that alone probably makes the series worth playing, because they treat their customers pretty well, or at least they have historically.
For this one, yeah, apparently. I mean, at the same time, I mean, you mentioned it, Capcom, they are not the best of companies these days. They have a lot of problems. They have bought into a lot of the shit that's been ruining a lot of companies. But it is good to know that at least something like Monster Hunter has managed to mostly remain clean from this.
Yeah.
And even though they've dumbed it down a bit, at least it still is an experience, a fun one, and it should be good.
Yeah. And at least it's not a cat making my goddamn meals anymore. That was super unsanitary for like decades.
Oh, but I love those cutscenes, man. Those dudes are fucking awesome.
So the only one of those cooks that I actually liked as a character was the one-eyed one from World, who was just like this big beefy dude with a giant cleaver. I like that character. He was all right for a cat, but he's still a bastard.
I love Palicos. I mean, Palicos are fun. I find Palicos fun, and I do like that. Even though I think I agree, I don't want to really hear a Palico voiced. I did like the fact that you could really customize your Palico's look in this one. I did like that during character creation.
You've been able
Yeah,
to
I
do
like
that.
how you give him different armor.
I've been to like super customize it.
Really. Well, yeah, they did do some more in-depth things with the character customization, like with the spacing of the bridge of your nose kind of depth, but that which is relatively new to the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you can do it with the cat, which is, I guess, something that you could do if you really wanted to. I don't know. I don't fucking spend a lot of time on a cat.
I see. If I'm gonna do it, I go all in. It's like, yep, I'm gonna give this little dude. I'm gonna give him the color scheme that is appropriate for me, and he's gonna match me and that kind of shit. So, I appreciate it. I like really good customization, especially when it's customization that I'm going to actually look at for a long time. Like if it's going to be something I can visually appreciate that I put the time in, then I'm really going to put the time in so that I can appreciate it the whole time I'm playing.
Sure, but at the same time, like with the Dark Souls series, man, there comes a point where you just like cake in these characters in armor and shit. You can't really see any of the details anymore.
True. Yeah, at a certain point, it's like, yeah, okay, you're in your armor, you're not going to see it. But I still do appreciate customization.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm liking it so far, and like the story mode's kind of doing the whole slow drip of unlocking features, which is sort of annoying because you used to just do that by completing quests, and I'm not sure how to navigate the quest stuff so much right now. Like, I mean, there's a list of quests that are available, but as far as like moving between star levels and shit like that, I have no idea how that's going to work, because there used to be you just had different tabs for that.
Yeah. Either way, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I look forward to eventually jumping in with everybody when the time comes. It'll happen. It's just there's just no there's just no exact time frame at the moment, just because of the way things are going in terms of how we do streaming and gaming and all this stuff, and I of course have my own priorities with what I want to play, which is and also I'm still kind of deciding what am I going to do for streaming in some cases and what am I going to do for private play. So that's always the juggling. But I have to choose something for private play, especially for like days like this on Mondays where all 3 of my notifications, I have to do 1 video during the day, and then my remaining 2 for both streams tonight for the next 6 weeks. So if I want to play a game on a Monday to relax in the in-between time, I have to choose something for private play. I mean, and yes, I could do it on the gaming channel, but I don't have the audience isn't there. Everybody's here. And the gaming channel is still growing. So I don't really like to stream over there because nobody knows I'm doing it. So the audience is over here waiting for something. So it's just a matter of managing everything, and eventually it all works itself out. I mean, like I said, so I wouldn't like to stream on a Monday anyway, because I wouldn't want to stream a game stream up until us doing this, because then it's a hard cutoff, and I'd rather a natural cutoff happen when you're doing a gaming stream, not forced cutoff. Generally, the only time that works is when we're trying to fit in a game before Ball Busters, which I am not necessarily a part of these days because of the time shift starting earlier, and I don't have as much time to complete everything I want between the start time and Ball Busters. Different thing. All right.
I'd be happy to poach you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of timing. Is like at earliest I can start a gaming stream on Friday at we were starting at like 8:30, but that only leaves an hour and a half before Ball Busters, so that's not really enough time to do anything in any sort of game. But all right, I got nothing else though. Anybody got anything else want to talk about? Chat, you're of course free to throw a topic out there. Those who are here with us live, we will field it best we can, because we are crossing that 2-hour limit soon, and because I didn't get a break between streams, I am a little brain fried at the moment. So I'm not thinking quick here. Not thinking on my feet. I'm thinking about
Devil's dying.
Well, Devil's sick, so he is dying.
Contract.
Well, he was. Listen, he caught whatever fresh version of Dermades is out there. So
he probably got mixed in with whatever hook and created some sort of super Dermades.
Oh man, there's a lot. I have a feeling several different strains of our particular whatever diseases our network has got spread and mixed up over Vegas. It happened. So either way. All right. So if nobody's got anything, I guess we are going to wrap it up. We are 2 hours in, and like I said, I didn't prepare. One of those weekends where I didn't prepare well enough, and also this is the first time we're doing the back-to-back stream for the next couple of weeks, and it didn't go quite as planned. So next week I'll try and be a little more prepared. So, Devil, when you're not hawking up a lung, what you got this week?
Oh, jeez. I'm not sure. I know we're back to the pub on Friday, and Bissell Musings before that, and then on Saturday I'm going to be on MSK's channel for a stream. So
okay, all right.
Otherwise, keep a lookout for me.
Samuel.
Oh, usual shit, although having been told by a number of viewers and whatnot that this last weekend's SITV was probably the most offensive show we've ever done, I have been going through it today and farming out short clips to make shorts out of, and I caught 3 in the first 25 minutes, so I'm not even all the way through the stream yet. And so I've got 2 that are out today, both of which are actually doing pretty damn good numbers. I got another one coming out tomorrow, possibly more. I just pulled one from Abyssal Musings on Friday too that I think is going to be pretty good. So that's waiting to drop probably tomorrow as well. So look for more shorts. Look for more shorts from me. And then Abyssal Musings on Friday. Beelzebub after that. Screaming into the Void on Saturday. Possibly Exiled Lioness 2 will be live on Saturday night, so we'll be over there, and then back here for Mellow Mondays.
Okay. As for me, if you haven't checked it out, go check out Who Cares Reviews, where Jed, Dermy, and I basically pointed and laughed at Doctor Who or Shooty Who for an hour and a half. If you haven't checked it out, my review for Shooty Who Season 2, Episode 2 has been up. It's I think the stands found it. They're a little angry, so good for that. Let them cry a lot. Rest of the week, I will not be doing Andor today, so you can all kiss off on that one. None of you have made it worth my time. Nobody asked me for it, really. Therefore, I'm not going to do it. And I need to be convinced, let's just say. There's no upside for me at the moment in doing it. Rest of the week, we'll see what the week holds in terms of news and topics. We have no idea what the week will hold. There will probably be a gaming stream tonight, Tuesday. Probably try and finish up Mass Effect 2 again, because even though I screwed up a thing, I'm just going to load up a different game. We'll play the final level. It doesn't really matter, because I want to play Mass Effect 3 as I try and wait to get my hands on a copy of Lunar Remastered Physical. Other than that, Friday I'll be on Ballbusters, where I get to hold everybody accountable for what they did in Vegas. Then on Saturday Night Drive-In, it was Jed's choice. We're doing Braveheart. Because Jed said he wants to do something Scottish, even though he knows it's the most historically inaccurate movie made.
He should
But,
have remembered the Stones.
Great movie. But yes, nothing historic about that movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in like well over 20 years. It's been a long ass time since I watched that movie. I used to watch it all the time when I was younger, but I haven't watched it forever. But it's one of those movies where I know the whole movie, so it's not like I don't remember it at all. So we got that. Got Drive-In. The Saturday, I'll be there. I might have to be tagged in to torture Dermy when he's playing the scary game. I believe I'm on a short list for if Gal can't be there for that. So I guess I'm there for that. Sunday roundtable. I have no idea what we're going to talk about yet, but as usual, the internet usually provides. And then we'll be it's Saturday, of course. Shooty Who episode 3. I keep forgetting that. Shooty Who episode 3 on Saturday. Review that. And then Sunday roundtable. Monday we'll be back here after more Who Cares reviews for another edition of Mellow Mondays, where I promise to do a better job, because I know I can do better. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us tonight, despite everything, despite the weird launch, the lateness, and all that good stuff. We appreciate all you guys. Without you guys, we don't get to do as much Extreme Elements on time. Nope, nothing on Stream Elements. So we will end the show. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Good night.
Bye.